Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm John.
And this is the Minute Podcast.
If you give a mouse a cookie, I'm pretty sure he'd write a book. But give us 60 seconds of footage and we'll tell you where to look. With a concept this simplistic, it's hard to say if it'll last. But give us just a minute and we'll give you a podcast. The Minute Podcast.
On the Minute Podcast, we watch an out-of-context minute of media that's been recommended by a listener. We analyze it, try and figure out what's happening, and judge if we want to keep watching. This week, we're watching the 37th minute of The Overnight, a movie recommended by Becky. We've been watching it on Netflix.
And this episode is brought to you by listeners like you. Not you specifically, but someone like you, but better looking and with a larger expendable income.
Of course. So what I want to discuss first is, what is our current level of understanding of the thing that we're watching? Have we ever seen The Overnight before? Now, is it over-night, or is it just overnight? Like the superhero?
I think, one word. I don't know if that's the superhero or not.
I don't know if there is a superhero overnight, but I call it if it is. It's like the most slumber party. Is their
Trademark
powers,
the Minute Podcast.
Yeah, trademark the Minute Podcast, exactly.
So what is your level of understanding, John?
So I believe I've seen the poster before, which I only know because I had to confirm that Adam Scott wasn't, spoilers, Adam Scott's in this, confirm that Adam Scott was in fact Adam Scott, because boy howdy does he look grody. But the other thing is, I've seen the poster before, and it basically has a giant, what is that? The little, star, a little star symbol. If you hold shift and press the 8 key on a normal QWERTY keyboard, that's what you get.
Oh, like an asterisk?
Yeah, an asterisk. Asterisk. Yeah. Words. And so what it is it's just a black field. The entire poster's black, and then there's white words and just a large white asterisk in the middle, which I can't help but feel like is referencing the butthole in some way.
It sounds like it might be. I haven't seen the poster.
I mean, from what we get from this single minute,
don't give it away.
I'm not giving it away. It's just on the playing field, I feel.
It's fair. It's fair.
It also reminds me of the flag from Community.
Yep. What was the slogan? En pluribus unus?
Yes. En pluribus unus, yes.
Classic.
Yes.
Yeah, so it turns out I know even less about this than you, John, because at first I accidentally watched a minute of The Overnighters, which is a drama about North Dakota oil field workers.
The sitcom adaptation of this? It's
as far as I could tell, it was not. No.
Well, I mean, truth be told, this could be about... Was it South Dakota? North Dakota?
North Dakota
oil workers.
It's a universal lesson.
Yes.
But before we get into the lessons learned, just a quick assessment of what we saw, a brief intro. We open on a scene of Adam Scott sitting in a hot tub with 3 other people, 2 blonde women and 1 man, and everyone is sitting very far away from him.
Yes.
And he looks very alone, and that's where the scene opens. Traditionally, John, we would have a script reading at this point, and I think we should do one now.
All right. Here, let me get down here. So I will be playing the role of Adam Scott in this piece, and Paul will be everyone else. I have the characters as listed. Orange is the New Black, because I believe the lady on the left is from that show.
I'm pretty sure she's the protagonist.
Yeah. Piper?
I think it's Piper.
Wow, that I've been thinking about this for the past 5 minutes that we've been doing this, and I believe I just got it. Yeah, no, wow, yeah. Brain takes a while to warm up. Never seen the show. I guess it's game for the minute. And then also Woman in the Middle, which is another woman that I have no idea who she is. And then Kurt. Kurt's gonna come in. We're gonna know who Kurt is.
He seems great. And before we start,
he seems like the Prince Charming of the piece.
He really does. we should probably say that because we both know young people, we have very slightly censored this script, and
Yes.
You'll probably be able to tell.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna be able to tell when we like what pieces we've censored here. All right, so into character. Whew. Was it black leather, yellow leather?
Either way.
Either way, okay. Why wouldn't I do this?
Well, I do. I don't just you know we don't know.
We don't know what. We don't know where we are. I know where I am. I'm in a hot tub, and I'm with these wonderful people. And why not say I have body issues? And why not say I have body issues? We just say the words, you know?
What's the issue? Yeah.
I have an abnormally small couch.
Okay, Sweetheart.
I do. It's as long as I can remember.
Hey.
Tiny couch. There it is.
That's okay, man.
Is it, Kurt? Really?
Yeah?
I've seen your couch, man. I don't think you know what I'm talking about. Okay? And
Scene. It was beautiful.
It
well done.
It was beautiful. That was way better than where I thought it was gonna go. Way better horrible reading of something that we just tore from a Netflix show. Netflix.
Well, I thought it effectively conveyed the scene, though. You can hear the water gently lapping in the background.
Yes.
So
it does also help that I think one of the best, like, most visible parts of this is also the fact that everyone is neck deep in the hot tub. Like, there is no, like, the closest thing to relaxed is Kurt, and that's just because his arm happens to be, rather symbolically, around his, I imagine it's his wife, while also, holding a rather large bottle of champagne. So, like, the only person here that seems remotely, it does seem a little direct for this. But it is strangely, like, nobody's comfortable in this.
No, they're definitely not. Did it seem to you like from the very start, Adam's girlfriend was trying to get him to not talk about his couch?
I can't help but feel like you're right, Paul. I feel like this is a discussion that her and him have had maybe countless numbers of times about.
I bet it comes up a lot.
Yeah. And then not only that, but I don't know if you like. I couldn't really express in my show, in my reading, but Adam Scott seemed drunk, like a bit drunk.
I think he was probably drunk, but with that goatee, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, what did you think about his goatee?
Oh. His facial hair was unfortunate.
Kind of was,
and I feel like it's only made worse because, like, Jason Schwartzman's, like, little, like, 5 o'clock shadow, like, well manicured 5 o'clock shadow made him just look strangely rugged in a way that Jason Schwartzman I never thought would.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an attractive man, but rugged is not one of the words I would usually use to describe him.
No, I wouldn't have said so.
No. Also, where's Leslie Knope in this?
That's my next note. Is the first thing I thought was, Adam, what are you doing sitting across from these blondes? Neither of them is your wife.
No, I feel like Adam Scott would not be in this situation if he had just, done the right thing and stuck around with Leslie Knope instead of going over to the Orange is the New Black or whatever this is.
Maybe it's a shared cinematic universe.
Oh, God.
That's all I can think. And he's left Leslie. His life's gone downhill. He's dating an ex-con. On the other hand, they're drinking champagne, sitting in a hot tub in someone's backyard. I mean, the suburbs, that's got to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, at least it seems affluent. So, do we know any more about this show?
No, we really don't. I mean, it's a movie.
Yeah, this movie.
But
I'm going to call it whatever old people call movies now, I guess.
The talkies.
Yeah, so do we know anything more about this talkie? I
was going to say we should theorize a little bit about what got Adam into this situation. Like, what was going on right before we opened onto the scene?
Well, if gun to my head, I'd guess he was drinking.
Okay, so he's drinking.
Yeah,
okay.
Before that, I feel like... Okay, so due to context clues within the reading, I feel like they might not know these people very well. So this isn't like a, Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble sort of, dynamic going on between him and Kurt. I feel like maybe this is an Airbnb.
Possible it's an Airbnb. My theory is a little bit different. I think that they're picked up this couple at a bar or vice versa, and I think they're trying to get them to swing.
Oh. Wait. Who picked up who?
So I think that Kurt and his wife picked up Adam and Orange is the New Black, and they brought them back to their place. Now they're all drunk, and they're trying to get them to swing. And that's how Adam brought it up. Well, yeah, maybe.
Maybe a little too much champagne for Adam Scott.
Well, probably. I mean, did you notice the amount of time he spent blowing bubbles into the water before he started talking about his tiny couch?
Yes, I did. He did seem to...
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Oh, I even almost put down for the long pause or whatever. 3 seconds, like roughly 3 seconds. I didn't actually count it, but it felt natural that it would be 3 seconds of air. Or
which
bubbles.
I think is exactly the same amount of silence that follows his sentence about his couch.
Good Lord.
So it's like bookended with complete crickets.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the face expressions in this are uncomfortable the entire time. Like, I think the only person... So Adam Scott just constantly looks like he's having like a mild anxiety attack while doing this, while also feeling like, he's like somewhat righteous by this confession that's torturing everyone in the pool, or in the tub. Whereas like Jason Schwartzman just has like the eyebrows, like the brow knit together, like really confused puppy dog look.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then the two women go from just looking at each other in complete, like, can you believe this shit, and total, like, like, surprise, to, like, just, like, for lack of a better word, like, constipation. Like, the look that one would imagine would follow, like, rather, difficult abdominal troubles.
I think that's true. It's... The sort of mood in this hot tub shifts so wildly.
Yes.
Over the course of this confession. Towards the start, the other people in the tub seem very interested. They're very supportive. They're even not goading him on, but trying to get him to share a little more, asking him what's the issue. And then as soon as it turns out it's about his couch, they look really uncomfortable, which is part of the reason that I think swinging might be would have been on the table.
Yes, that does make sense. I mean, I feel like with the couch situation, I feel like they're coming back around to being supportive, though. I think that the entire minute took place during the apex, the climax of the uncomfortability of this conversation, and then they were just coming around to sort of this situation. Although the very last second or so, Orange is the New Black and the woman in the middle, they're looking at each other and they're just they're there's unspoken words going between them. I think it's just sympathy and understanding a little bit about possibly what else has been going on this evening.
I think that's probably true. Did you get the sense that every time Adam's drunk, he probably starts talking about his couch? You get 2 beers in him, and suddenly it's like, oh.
Well, they do have
futons are fine.
Futons are fine. Yeah, no, I think so. Also, I kind of wonder if he complains about having to move it around, maybe, especially between cities.
You're not going to hire someone to move it. I mean, if it's that small.
No, and you bought it at IKEA. You're not gonna pay more to move it than it costs to buy it. I mean, that's ridiculous. Also, just the position of Jason Schwartzman grappling onto this giant champagne bottle the entire time is just.
He looks pretty cool, though. I mean,
he does. The thing is that I feel like all of them are like ducking down so that only their necks and shoulders are visible, whereas I feel like Jason Schwartzman out of all of them looks like he's just standing up straight. But
just
maybe that's just because I know that Jason Schwartzman's a shorter fella.
Oh, that could be actually.
Yeah. So like I could see him also like needing this like to grapple onto something in order to stay up.
It's not a champagne bottle. It's a grappling hook that's tied to the far side of
exactly. It's like a quaint little like on what you don't see is the like glued together like rigging that's on the other side of the bottle that's like hinged onto the edge of the pool just
ballast.
Yeah, just so you can look badass while not
great.
Sinking.
Man. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is Adam makes he makes the point that as long as he can remember, he's had a small couch.
Yes.
As if someone was going to think like, hey, back in August of '83, what a week.
Yeah, I remember his couch. It was the longest couch in existence, and now
didn't fit in the doorway.
Yeah, I do like the positing of this being a different story in like an alternate universe where like the story is actually how he lost the length of his couch.
Ooh.
Like a motorcycle accident.
I was going to say it fell off a truck on a highway.
Or maybe it's like a jet inside of a hot tub accident. Like,
well, Johnny, you cannot fit a couch into a hot tub. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm just saying, like, something. I do like the idea. I do like the imagery now of a couch flying off the back of a motorcycle
and into the jet of a hot tub. That's how you do it. You build up some speed.
If we're talking about this, it would be a sectional couch flying off the end of a motorcycle.
Ooh,
right?
No comment.
But yeah.
So the other thing I saw is, speaking of facial expressions, Kirk's very small smile and nod when Adam tells him that he's seen his couch and it's pretty good. He's like, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. It's a nice couch. It folds out.
Patent leather.
I guess.
It's got mesh for breathability. I don't know what couches are.
Clearly neither of us really know what couches are.
Well, I mean, it's difficult when you live in an apartment. Like,
well, it's true. You can just afford love seats.
Exactly.
Well, John, let's go ahead and try to summarize this movie for the listener. What is your theory for what this movie is actually about?
So the rest of the movie, I feel like it's a single setting thing, and this movie is actually about the hot tub, where it's basically like, if I could be a fly on the side of that wall. So this is just like a house or like a hot tub that exists, and you get to see little horrifying vignettes of interactions between people within hot tubs, because to me that's just what a hot tub is in narrative, is just like a like machine of uncomfortable situations, right?
Like a narrative time machine.
Yeah, time machine, if you will, of uncomfortable situations. Yes, a hot tub time machine of sorts.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, that's a little bit different from my theory. I actually have two.
Well, I'm open to a world of possibilities.
Okay, so my first theory is that this is a sitcom that really focuses on the experiences of Adam's wife.
Okay.
As he goes from site to site, bringing up his tiny couch way too often.
A little too often.
And just the impacts it has on her.
I mean, it certainly impacts her. Like, out of all the characters, she's the only one who actually reacts with like any sort of emotion or pathos.
No, it's true. But my second theory is that it's a movie about people in the suburbs trying very hard not to swing and getting invited into these swinging situations. So his out is always just talking about his tiny couch.
Very hard not to swing versus like, or is this a movie about Jason Schwartzman and his wife, trying really hard to swing, and then everyone being kind of open to it, but then finding out that they're all horrible, like, people.
That could be, at least all horrible swing partners.
Like, it's like the worst situation you can go into with it. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that could be. Well, given those theories, John, can we recommend this to the listener at home?
No. This is like, okay, if this is the most uncomfortable portion of this movie, then go for it. But in my experience, like, God, I hate this sort of, like, comedy, the, like, horrifying, uncomfortable silences and stuff, just, like,
the cringiness.
Well, not only that, but it's Adam Scott. Like I want to like the guy. I want to do all this, you know, like, I want to laugh, but I just can't do it when he's, like, blowing bubbles after confessing the size of his couch to strangers in a hot tub. Like, it's just not my thing.
That's fair. I think, though, that I will recommend this.
Okay.
Mostly because I accidentally saw that it's a pretty short movie. It looked like it was an hour and 18 minutes from the Netflix.
That's nice.
Menu that came up.
That is nice.
So I think it could probably hold my attention long enough to get through that.
So we've seen about 1/78 of this movie.
Yeah, and I really just hope that I'm right about the swingers and that sort of sexcapade.
Being so trying hard movie, not to. So you mean like it's like a farce? Like people going into like other bedrooms only to find like somebody there trying to seduce them, only to like run out the other door to find the other person trying to seduce them? Like
I was thinking a little more like accidentally going to a swingers retreat.
Oh.
Or it's like a swingers cruise. I mean, it's not a cruise because they weren't on a boat, but
they were in a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a patch of yard on top of a... No, I guess not. That would be ridiculous.
Unlike what we're talking about.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like a farce taking place where people are trying hard not to... But isn't that kind of just Rocky Horror Picture Show? Except people failing at not, you know, having sex with random strangers in a haunted...
Yeah, I guess that's true. But this wouldn't be a musical.
Oh,
that's the only difference I can think of.
Well, that's too bad. Yeah, the only difference. All right.
Well, any last thoughts about whatever the hell we watched just now, John?
I think I feel better that it is only 78 minutes long, but I still can't recommend it. I don't want to see any more of this.
Well, that's fair. We cannot recommend every minute. That's the nature of the podcast. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. As always, you can reach us at theminutepodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at minutepod. This episode was hosted by Paul Rehberg and John Ward, produced by John Ward with theme music from Paul Rehberg. And a big thank you to Becky for providing the content for this minute. I don't know why you provided that minute, but I enjoyed it.
It was an experience.
It certainly was. All right, take care.
Holy crap, you made it to the end. We'll be back next week to do it all again. Until then, be well and be sure to take a minute. The Minute Podcast. 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 Podcast.